Welcome back, inspired Stoics. Today we're diving into the profound wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. As Roman emperor from 161 to 180 AD, Marcus Aurelius faced immense challenges, from leading armies to governing an empire. Yet amidst these pressures, he found time to write his personal reflections, which have come down to us as the Meditations, a timeless guide to living a virtuous and meaningful life. What makes Marcus Aurelius's teaching so powerful is their practicality and universal applicability. Whether you're a CEO, a student, or anyone in between, his insights offer guidance for navigating life's complexities with wisdom, courage, and integrity. In this video, we'll explore key lessons from Marcus Aurelius, examining how his ancient wisdom can be applied to our modern lives. We'll delve into his thoughts on resilience, perspective, self-discipline, and more. Most importantly, we'll discuss how to integrate these lessons into our daily routines, helping us become more thoughtful, resilient, and virtuous individuals. So let's embark on this journey through the mind of a philosopher-king and discover how the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius can transform our lives today. 1. The power of perspective. One of Marcus Aurelius's most profound teachings is about the power of perspective. He consistently reminds us that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. In Book 4 of Meditations, he writes, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This principle is revolutionary in its simplicity and power. It suggests that we have far more control over our experience of life than we often realize. By changing our perspective, we can fundamentally alter our emotional response to events. Consider a modern example. You're stuck in heavy traffic and running late for an important meeting. The situation itself is neutral, it's just cars on a road, but your judgment about it, that it's terrible, unfair, or going to ruin your day, is what causes your distress. Marcus Aurelius would advise us to step back and examine these judgments. Instead of fuming about the traffic, we could choose to see it differently. Perhaps it's an opportunity to practice patience, or to listen to an educational podcast, or simply to take a few deep breaths and center ourselves before the meeting. By shifting our perspective, we transform a potentially stressful situation into a neutral or even beneficial one. To practice this in daily life, try this exercise. Each time you feel upset or frustrated, pause and ask yourself, 1. What judgment am I making about this situation? 2. Is this judgment absolutely true, or just one possible interpretation? 3. How else could I view this situation in a way that's more constructive or aligned with my values? By regularly practicing this shift in perspective, we can dramatically reduce our stress and increase our resilience in the face of life's challenges. 2. The impermanence of all things. Another key lesson from Marcus Aurelius is the recognition of the impermanence of all things. He frequently reminds himself and us that everything in life is transient. In Book 4, he writes, "Bear in mind that everything that exists is already fraying at the edges and in transition, subject to fragmentation and to rot." While this might sound pessimistic at first, it's actually a powerful tool for both appreciation and detachment. By recognizing that nothing lasts forever, neither our joys nor our sorrows, we can learn to appreciate the present moment more fully and to let go of our attachments more easily. In our modern context, this principle can be incredibly liberating. Think about how much anxiety we often feel about maintaining our possessions, our status, or even our relationships. By remembering their impermanent nature, we can loosen our grip and find more peace. For example, if you're worried about a scratch on your new car, remembering its impermanence can help put things in perspective. The car, like everything else, will eventually decay. This doesn't mean we shouldn't take care of our possessions, but it does mean we shouldn't let them cause us undue stress. Similarly, this principle can help us appreciate the good things in life more fully. Knowing that a beautiful moment or a loving relationship won't last forever can motivate us to cherish it more deeply in the present. To practice this, try a daily meditation on impermanence. 1. Choose an object, relationship, or aspect of your life. 2. Reflect on its current state and how it has changed over time. 3. Imagine how it might change in the future. 4. Consider how this awareness of impermanence affects your appreciation for it now. This practice can help us develop a more balanced and appreciative approach to life, reducing our anxiety about change and loss. 3. The importance of self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius placed great emphasis on self-discipline as a key to living a virtuous life. He saw it as essential for maintaining control over our thoughts, actions, and desires. In Book 5, he writes, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm?" This call to self-discipline is as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. In our world of constant distractions and instant gratification, the ability to focus, to delay pleasure, and to do what's right rather than what's easy is more valuable than ever. Self-discipline, in the Stoic sense, isn't about harsh self-denial. It's about aligning our actions with our values and long-term goals. It's about doing what we know is right, even when it's difficult. For instance, self-discipline might mean sticking to an exercise routine even when we don't feel like it, continuing to work on a challenging project when we'd rather scroll through social media, speaking up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable. To cultivate greater self-discipline, try this practice. 1. Each morning, set 3 important tasks for the day that align with your values and long-term goals. 2. When you face resistance to doing these tasks, pause and remind yourself of why they're important. 3. After completing each task, take a moment to appreciate the sense of accomplishment and how it aligns with your ideal self. By consistently practicing self-discipline in small ways, we build the strength to tackle bigger challenges and live more in alignment with our values. 4. The interconnectedness of all things. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the interconnectedness of all things in the universe. In Book 4, he writes, "All things are implicated with one another, and the bond is holy, and there is hardly anything unconnected with any other thing." This principle encourages us to see ourselves as part of a larger whole, rather than as isolated individuals. In our modern world, this understanding of interconnectedness is more relevant than ever. From global economic systems to ecological networks, we're increasingly aware of how our actions affect others and how we're affected by the world around us. Recognizing our interconnectedness can lead to greater empathy and compassion for others, a sense of responsibility for our actions and their wider impacts, a deeper appreciation for the support systems that sustain us. For example, when we buy a product, we might consider the entire supply chain involved in its creation and distribution. This awareness can lead to more mindful consumption and a greater appreciation for the work of others. To practice this principle, try this exercise. 1. Choose an everyday object or experience, like a meal or your smartphone. 2. Reflect on all the people and processes involved in bringing it to you. 3. Consider how your use of it might affect others or the environment. 4. Express gratitude for this web of connections that supports your life. By regularly practicing this kind of reflection, we can develop a more holistic worldview and a greater sense of connection to the world around us. 5. The pursuit of virtue as life's purpose. Finally, Marcus Aurelius consistently emphasizes that the pursuit of virtue should be our primary goal in life. He believed that by focusing on developing wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control, the 4 cardinal virtues in Stoicism, we could live a fulfilling life regardless of external circumstances. In Book 5, he writes, "What is your art to be good? And how is this accomplished well except by general principles, some about the nature of the universe and others about the proper constitution of man?" This focus on virtue as life's purpose can be incredibly liberating. It means that regardless of our external success or failure, we always have the opportunity to act virtuously and therefore to live a good life. In practice, this might mean choosing honesty even when a lie might be more convenient, standing up for what's right even when it's unpopular, showing kindness to someone who has been unkind to us, persevering in the face of difficulty when it would be easier to give up. To integrate this principle into daily life, try this. 1. Each morning, choose one virtue to focus on for the day: wisdom, justice, courage, or self-control. 2. Throughout the day, look for opportunities to practice this virtue. 3. In the evening, reflect on how you embodied this virtue and how it affected your day. By making the pursuit of virtue our primary focus, we can find meaning and fulfillment regardless of external circumstances. To recap, as we've explored, the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius offers profound guidance for navigating life's challenges. From shifting our perspective and recognizing impermanence to cultivating self-discipline, acknowledging interconnectedness, and focusing on virtue, his teachings provide a roadmap for living a more thoughtful, resilient, and meaningful life. These principles aren't just philosophical ideas, they're practical tools that we can apply in our daily lives to become more balanced, ethical, and contented individuals. Conclusion. Remember, the goal isn't to perfectly embody these principles overnight. Marcus Aurelius himself was constantly working on his own growth and improvement, as evidenced by the personal nature of his meditations. The key is to consistently apply these ideas, even in small ways, and to be patient with ourselves as we grow. As you move forward from this video, I encourage you to choose one lesson from Marcus Aurelius that resonates with you most. Perhaps it's the power of perspective, or the focus on virtue as life's purpose. Whatever it is, commit to applying it in your daily life for the next week. Notice how it affects your thoughts, your actions, and your overall well-being. You might find it helpful to keep a journal of your experiences, just as Marcus Aurelius did. Write down your reflections, challenges, and insights as you put these principles into practice. This can be a powerful tool for growth and self-awareness. Ultimately, the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius isn't about achieving perfection or eliminating all of life's challenges. It's about developing the mental tools to navigate life with greater wisdom, resilience, and purpose. It's about becoming day by day a little more like the person we aspire to be. So, inspired Stoics, as you go about your day, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let this ancient wisdom guide you in your modern life, helping you face each day with courage, wisdom, and virtue. Until next time, stay inspired, stay reflective, and keep cultivating that Stoic mindset.